So go do that.
So mortals try to find the maker and that becomes blind. It's just a story to scare children. Where does it come from? What was the archdemon? That was real. You were in Denerim. Old gods are demons. Darkspawn are demons. It's all demons. That's a lot of demons.
Construction report, death on the wall. One of our finishers scurried fell from the scaffold and landed on paving stone. He had breath for an hour, but his eyes were still. He died, and the chances wrapped him. What should we do, Foreman Sherry? Have them commit his body with those we have lost in Haven, or record a sacrifice for the Inquisition. Move his fellow workers to another side, and allow them time off with pay if they request. Ensure that all workers do their job safely. We are in a war, not a race. Rushing does no good if we harm ourselves. We are all the Inquisition. Sounds wise enough. Who the hell are you? I don't think I remember seeing you around.
Honored, Inquisitor. Gotzi Sturholm. Did my part on the walls. Now I'm on this strange collection you've brought us. Don't know its worth to the fight exactly, but it's good workmanship.
What's your experience?
Where did you learn your skills?
Orzammar. Carved a few statues in my day. Before you ask, yes, I chose to leave. I carved a paragon who turned out to be a sodding madwoman. Couldn't stand looking at it. The memory of a dwarf, right?
Let me guess, Blanca. So, can you interpret some things? I guess.
Do you have insight into the stories these tiles are supposed to depict?
Tell you what, you finish one, and I'll write it up. Who better, right? A good dwarven perspective.
Fair enough. What are they, anyway?
Any ideas about the origins of these reliefs?
To Vinter, early. It's in the tool marks, the grain. That's hard dust mined from the 100 Pillars, if I know anything. Oh, I suppose the scene is probably full of Tevinter robes, too.
The 100 Pillars?
Damnedest things. Massive spires that aren't stone. It's like a mortar. Don't know more than that. Strong, though.
Interesting.
Thanks
for the insight.
Best of the vein, Inquisitor.
So, Varric, how are you doing after your near-death experience? She's calmed down.
Cassandra's calmed down. I think you can take your hand off your crossbow.
Define calm down for me in terms of who or what she's punching right now. I wasn't trying to keep secrets. I told the Inquisition everything that seemed important at the time.
I believe you did what you thought was best.
I know, Varric. You never would have kept quiet otherwise.
I keep hoping none of this is real. Maybe it's all some bullshit from the Fade and it'll just disappear. I know I need to do better. I'm sorry.
Well, at least your hair looks like hair again. That's nice. So let's...
Greetings.
Can you tell me anything about Corypheus?
I need to know more about Corypheus.
You shamed him when you destroyed Haven. Spoiled his
Haven't we
glorious
already
reputation.
talked about this?
It would be worse to acknowledge that you had done so. He must continue on his course or show weakness.
Sorry, we already had this conversation, so I'll believe you. Do you have anything to say? Yes, you seem to do.
Anything interesting?
A letter regarding Felix, Alexius's son. He went to the magisterium, stood on the Senate floor and told them of you. A glowing testimonial, I'm informed. No news on the reaction, but everyone back home is talking. Felix always was as good as his word.
Was.
He's dead. The Blight caught up with him.
Oh. I'm sorry for your
Are
loss.
you alright?
He was ill, and thus on borrowed time anyhow.
That doesn't mean you can't regret his death.
I know. Felix used to sneak me treats from the kitchens when I was working late in his father's study. Don't get into trouble on my behalf, I tell him. I like trouble, he'd say. Tevinter could use more mages like him. Those who put the good of others above themselves.
What about you? You seem to be trying
Make
to
it
do that.
sound like he was a better person than you.
What a mad thing to say. Few people are better than I.
You're defecting the question
Very
expertly.
well, a better person, clearly, not nearly as handsome.
You want to talk about it?
Thankfully, Felix wasn't the only decent sort kicking around Thedas.
I suppose I'm just to guess who you're referring to then. Fair enough. New quest in here? Maybe?
What is it?
Never mind. Was this quest down there all the time? No, was it? I'm not even sure. Maybe we should go talk to Liliana. You know, it's all very fine and elaborate and stuff, and oh wait, this is where I turn in research. Finally. But it's kinda hard to, you know, navigate at times. The simplicity of the camp in the first game, well, with just one person per place, really quite kind of beneficial.
Reports of fade rifts and demons keep coming. The people are terrified, and it's only getting worse. The only thing that will calm their fears now is the hope that someone out there can save them. You have to be that someone. No one else has any power over the rifts.
Well,
Heal them. Your legend will spread, and Thedas will learn to trust the Inquisition.
well, I'm special. Yeah, you must miss Justinia.
The Divine's death hit you hard. How have you been feeling?
Oh, you are referring to my outburst in the Haven. I am much better now. Justinia was such a dear friend, and there were so many things going wrong.
Well, speak. It usually helps.
Best to talk these things out.
I was there when the hero Ferelden defeated the Archdemon.
True.
We won the day, and I thought the Makers smiled on me. When the Divine requested my help, I went to her. I owed her that much. I sacrificed so much to do the Maker's work. But now, Justinia is dead. I was angry. I felt betrayed. But I shouldn't have let my emotions get the better of me. I'm sorry.
You don't need to apologize. You are human, after all.
Don't apologize. You were grieving and upset. I understand.
Thank you. Now enough of this. Let us think more pleasant thoughts.
Carry on.
I'll leave you to your work.
Most people couldn't do that and survive, but I'm just that awesome, I suppose. Hey, is there an issue?
My Lord Inquisitor, it's good of you to speak with me.
Yes.
I have news regarding one of your companions, the Tevinter.
What about him? Bad news?
Nothing good, I expect.
If you have reservations about his presence here, I share them.
I was asking if it was bad news, not indicating that I didn't
I
like
have been
him.
in contact with his family. House Pavas out of Carenas. Are you familiar with them?
You know what I really wish they'd bring back from the second game? The mood indicator. That was really helpful because it's just like, bad news, question mark. You'd think that would be like, is it bad news? Instead, it's like, I don't expect anything good. Which is again kind of sort of the same umbrella term of bad news, question mark. But you just kind of, where are the mood marks? You show them on point. they're not on good terms.
He's mentioned his family. They don't appear to be on good terms.
Yes, I believe you're correct. The family sent a letter describing the estrangement from their son and pleading for my aid. They've asked to arrange a meeting quietly without telling him. They fear it's the only way he'll come. Since you seem to be on good terms with the young man, I'd hoped...
I'm not going to trick him.
If you think I'm going to trick Dorian into meeting his family...
I feared you might say that. The family will send a retainer to meet the young man at the Red Cliff Tavern, to take him onward. If he truly does not wish this reunion, he can always end the matter there. I pray you change your mind, Inquisitor. Perhaps their letter will persuade you. If there is any chance of success in this, it behooves us to act.
Your Reverence, understand that you feel inadequate to the task of bringing Dorian to a secret meeting. Even in the asking, I find it difficult to believe myself. Considering my son has rebuffed all contact, this is the only way I know. I know him, he would be too proud to come if he knew. Even just to talk. That is all we wish to do. Before Dorian in the south, placing himself in the path of such danger alarms us more than I can express. If this summer succeeds, we have a family retainer at the Vanville Hills watching for Dorian's arrival. We'll bring the boy to us somewhere private. If Dorian not refuses to go with him, it ends there, and there's nothing we can do. We are at our wit's end. Well, I'll talk with him about it. I mean, if he's nervous, I mean, if he thinks they're up to something, then I guess we can always go with him. It shouldn't be a problem. Now Colin wants to talk. Where the hell is Colin? Anyway, Dorian.
I'm told you have Alexius researching magic for you.
Yep.
Research is always what made him happiest. Perhaps I'll even go talk to him eventually. One word of advice. If he suggests altering time as a way to solve all your problems, give it a pass.
Fair enough. Yeah, your father sent a letter.
Dorian, there's a letter you need to see.
A letter? Is it a naughty letter? A humorous proposal from some Antivan dowager?
Unfortunately, no.
Not quite. It's from your father.
My father. I see. And what does Magister Hallward want, pray tell?
To speak with you?
Show me this letter. I know my son? What my father knows of me would barely fill a thimble. This is so typical. I'm willing to bet this retainer is a henchman, hired to knock me on the head and drag me back to Tevinter.
Could it be, you know, the Venatori?
This could be the Venatori. Lure us somewhere remote, then an ambush.
Perhaps. Although this does look like my father's penmanship. Or could he have joined the Venatori? No, that can't. Well, anything is possible.
I suppose.
Let's go. Let's meet this so-called family retainer.
Fair enough.
It's a trap, we escape and kill everyone. You're good at that.
I can't disagree with
Send
that.
the man back to my father with a message that he can stick his alarm in his wit's end.
Well, I'm kind of curious. What's the issue between you?
There seems to be bad blood between you and your family.
Interesting turn of phrase. But you're correct. They don't care for my choices, nor I for theirs.
Because you wouldn't get married. Because you left.
That too.
Well, that's fair enough.
Let's go meet this retainer then.
I wonder how much my father paid this man to wait around just in case I showed. We'll find out soon enough.
Well, it seems like we're actually getting some story and character interaction in this one. That's really interesting. Also explains why I haven't been bored yet this session. Good sign. Let's see if they can keep it up. Workers finishing the banner placements and are requesting more important tasks. Several wish to train with swords so they can fight more directly serving the Inquisition. They try to join a war, not dress up a keep. Can't say I disagree. Former sheriffs. Our enemy caught a hole in the sky seen everywhere. We look upon it from below, but it need not humble us. We may fight because we are many. We are many because the Inquisitor inspires. The Inquisitor inspires because of his growing legend. Part of this legend is what the masses find on arrival. That is the job of your workers. Not vanity, but veneration. Not impulse, but elevation. Their skill as workers is greater threat to the enemy than their number and half-trained soldiers. Later Munch Ledge. Oh, jeez. Could you people tone it down a bit? Just a little. It's getting to the point where even I find it a bit too much. And I already got an ego the size of the moon.